Welcome back to another great episode of Texas Veteran Lawn Service. What I'd like to find out from all of my viewers is what kind of topics would you like to talk about in our upcoming live question and answer segment we're going to be doing. So here's some ideas that we could talk about. We could talk about doing fence repairs, fence installs, using an auger versus using a post hole digger. Also, should you get into tree trimming? You own a chainsaw, should you get into tree trimming? And what kind of chainsaw should you get? Should you get a beginner model, maybe something a little more advanced, heavier duty, or a couple different models? And we're going to be talking about the Troy-Bilt Flex machine. Was my first pretty good size walk-behind mower, dual blade, 28-inch cut. We're also going to be talking about, should you take on larger properties like acre properties? This is all revolving around a one-man operation like myself, so I can definitely relate to those individuals. So do we want to do some acreage property? What is the most amount of acres should you take on? Should you be using a zero turn or a stand-on turn type of mower? And do you have a good relationship with your dealer? Do you live close by to one? Are they on the other side of town? Do you get a lot of headache from them? Do you just find yourself shopping at Home Depot and other big box stores to be able to get what you need? And do you do your own repairs? And also, what is the best type of tool or equipment to use for edging? Should we use a stick edger? Should we use a string trimmer? Should we use both? And what are some good techniques to use with those? And also, we're going to be covering walk-behind mowers. Should we use a sulky? Should we not use a sulky? Single wheel or dual wheel? What size deck should you get versus what you need and how heavy you might be, which also matters how big of a motor you might need to get. Also talking about, should we have our kids go to work with us during the summertime or fall time when they're out of school? What is a good age to let them start learning some lawn care skills that they could use at home? Or is it just better not to bring them along at all? Do customers like stripes or do they not like stripes on their property? It also kind of depends what kind of grass you're cutting and the height that you're cutting it at. And should we use a good oil additive or some type of oil blend for our 2-cycle engines? Or is the cheap stuff just as good as the more expensive stuff? What about commercial properties? Should we use or take on commercial properties? Should we do those on contract or not on contract? What should we charge? And also, we're going to be covering anything in general that you can think about. And we'll try to keep the video maybe around an hour or so. And we want to try to put on more of these for you guys to try to cover some questions and answers to help you get better at what you're doing. And also so we can learn too. So if this is something that interests you, definitely leave a comment below. We would like to know what you would like to talk about, some important topics, and it may be something I'm unfamiliar to, but I would definitely like to try that out, and maybe I could do some research beforehand before we bring it into our live question and answer session. And we're going to try to do this possibly this evening if we can get enough interest in it. If not, we'll shoot for, of course, a later date, but it is something we want to start doing for everybody. Probably once a month, maybe even once a week. Let's just see how it goes. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and if you haven't subscribed already, definitely think about doing that. We are uploading videos all the time. We just recently uploaded some chainsaw videos as we're growing that chainsaw video series, so definitely check that out. I'm Kevin with Texas Veteran Lawn Service. We appreciate you guys watching and stopping by, and we'll see you next time.